Welcome to the science fair. I did tell you that I had a science fair for you all. We need music for a science fair. What's like a sciencey song? Do you think like, is classical music associated with science? I feel like classical music is the epitome of anti-science. And I don't know why it feels like that. I just feel like it's the epitome of anti-science. And perhaps that's probably the wrong thing to think about, science. But perhaps that would be a good thing to think about. Like, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Oh, you know what? I do know what's a good science theme. It's RuneScape music, right? Everybody loves RuneScape music to science. Perfect. Now this is a science theme. All right, here we go. Chat. I found some really weird things. Okay. One, did you know that there are apparently education catalogs? I don't know what this is, but these reminded me of something that I used to have in my childhood that you may not have had. We used to have this thing in my area called the Scholastic Book Fair. So it's a very weird thing. Scholastic is a company. I don't even know if this is like an American company. I have no clue. Is Scholastic Corporation it's American. Sons of guns. They infiltrated Canadian schools, and this is their way in. Yeah, this thing, back in my days, you could just go in and you could find a whole bunch of really fun stuff. Like you could buy, I don't know, toys and stuff, right? Apparently you can just host one. What? Book request a fairy date. Ready to host? Request your fair. What do you mean request a fairy date? So basically, you go in and they offer you like a whole bunch of stuff that you can buy. It's not just books. What's weird is that you can buy things like crazy cool looking pens. You can buy things like back in my day, it was things like science kits. You could buy things like toys where you could make like a volcano. It's very weird. It's a very weird setup where you just like have stuff there to buy. And mind you, this is all like $30, so they would be selling this to kids for $30 each. And I always thought to myself like, okay, well what child has $30 to buy things? And then I realized that I was the poor kid in my school. That everybody else around me was actually, they had money and they actually had the ability to buy things. And it turns out that I was the weirdo. I was the one who had nothing to my name. And so when there was a new Animorphs, wait, that was a crazy animation. Wait, sorry, what? What is this? That is such an overly complicated animation. What is that? Why does it do that? That's a weird, overly complicated animation. But yeah, when I was younger, they used to sell all kinds of things. Babysitter's Little Sister. What? That sounds weird. Okay, to be fair, these are books made for like 5-year-olds. So like as a 5-year-old, like probably some 5-year-olds like, what the hell does that mean? Sounds cool. But it turns out that's not the only one that's out there. Okay, so while I was looking back into it, because I was like, I wonder if they still do it. Because I was telling my niece about it, and then she's like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. I don't know if she was lying, but she doesn't do it anymore. And I was like, oh, like, okay, well, this is what it was. And while I was, like, trying to show her, I stumbled upon these. Educational catalogs. And, chat, look at this. It's like Sears. It's like actual Sears. Like, it's like... and so it's like, I don't know who this is for. Because apparently these are not for the kids. These are for teachers. So it's like, they've designed these product catalogs for their teachers to buy. But I always thought that teachers, barring some extra things, would only be able to do things based on the curriculum. So, like, is it the principal who's, like, going through this catalog almost like a Home Depot thing? Like, and is this what principals do on a daily basis? I don't know. I only know a teacher, and until he becomes a principal, I won't know. But I don't think he will, because I've heard that principals aren't really educational people. So... you just heard this morning another person talk about the book fair, and you'd never heard about it before. We're in the Matrix. No, you're outside of the Matrix. I'm in the Matrix. Okay? I took the pill. Not. Okay, wait, sorry. For context, the original red pill, blue pill from the Matrix had different meanings. It was related to whether or not you wanted to stay in the Matrix. Alright? The chuds took over those terms to say that they mean things like, oh, I'm taking a red pill, all women are... Like, no! Motherfucker, I just want to eat virtual steak every day. I love women. I just love steak too. Is that so wrong of me? Is it wrong of me to want to eat steak? Fuck you for taking over the pills. Should have made a second pill. A third pill. Sorry. I can't count. This is why you can tell that I never bothered to go to the book fair. They should have made a third pill. The shit pill, right? And you eat like a shit pill in the same way. Apparently that's what people do, like homegrown fecal transplants. So like you can buy, sorry, this is like kind of related, but like you can buy pills full of someone's poop with tapeworm eggs in it, dried, so when you eat it you get tapeworms. And people just do that like as an underground thing, and I don't really know why, but it is strange. But yeah, they just have these catalogs, okay? And I had no clue that these existed. Because look at this. How many different brands of paints are there? And what child needs acrylic gesso? What child is gonna bring this around the room? And what child do you trust to spray paint something? I wouldn't trust any child to spray paint anything. My children can't even do things like mop the floors and like sweep the floors, okay? Let alone random school children. Like, if I was a teacher, I wouldn't trust any of them. But the messy mat, that makes sense. Paint brushes, you do need them to paint with, okay? But painting is like the very end of what I would trust them to do. Although this is kind of cool. Wait, sturdy hog hair spent stencil brushes with a stencil. Yeah, it's not just art though. There's actually like a bunch of these. For instance, biology. Now this one, I don't think I can scroll through. Can I scroll through this one? There was one that had like a naked body, but like it had like a vagina in it. And so I had to be careful about which one that I'm seeing. No, that one was the nursing one. Sorry. So there's also like a weird subset of these. I also found a subset of these that was for hospitals. So like it's the same style of a catalog, but it's specifically for a hospital. So like it's like nursing supply. So like how to teach your nurses to save someone if they have a vagina, but they also are presenting with a cough. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a very specific thing. And I was like, oh, that's a very specific tool. But then it's like it's these like weirdly, I wish I could show you, but I can't show you. Actually, I could show you with enough sensors. It's a very strange system that I've never seen before, where they also dressed up these mannequins and like posed them like models. But like they had this uncanny human look. It was very strange. But look at this one, okay? This is what I'm here for, chat. Look at this. Schools get this, chat. Schools, like kids, are learning how to program off this. Look at this. Spectrum's electricity kit. Electricity? I wasn't even allowed near plugs. Mainly because I tried to stick things there. But still, imagine being able to play with electricity, with lights and optics, and storage carts to bring your lights and optics around. Like, look at this. Imagine being a child and you could just make a light bulb. Like, forget Edison. You have Timmy. You know, you have little Timmy. There's even a Spectrum coding kit, whatever this means. Visit spectrum.ca for more deals. So this is like the main website for this one. And there's more than one website. Okay, a lot of them have a lot of different things. And they all seem to have like a different subset of the same sort of overall categories, which I don't really know how that works, but yeah. And let's see what this product is. Can I find this product? It's clearance. The hell is a clearance section? What? Look at this. Kidtronics Arcade Max from MakeCode Arcade. You can make your own arcade. I don't even know what this is. There's a Makey Classic. What is a Kidtronic Arcade? Arcade from the Pie Shop. Arcade Class Pack. Look at this. A fully featured programmable gamepad for use with the MakeCode Arcade Block Editor. What? The Classroom Pack comes with 10 arcade game packs, 10 USB noodle cables. That's what they're called. And you, oh my god. Can you imagine? It's like, before the kids can play games, you have to teach them how to make their own game to give them an appreciation. What is this? I've never heard of this. Wait, what is this? This is weird. Start tutorial. You're here to start coding your own games? Yeah, sure. Follow tutorial prompts. Find blocks in the toolbox. These blocks are in your world. These blocks are in your workspace, okay? You just discovered the most important part of following a tutorial, reading instructions. Remember, kids, to read. Click to see a clue. Click the clue box to see what's like. Congrats, you found the clue. We need to show regular blood, okay? Click inside the splash block that's already there and change the sentence to something more exciting. Poop. Wait, so this runs off of this thing. See that? It actually runs on the bottom. That's actually kind of cool. Wait. Poop. So now there's a poop. Blocks can be dragged out from the toolbox, connected, duplicated, and delete. Keep going to learn more. Blocks don't always start with the workspace wheel, so just starting with an image like this or with a highlight test. Okay. Set the background color to thing block. Set the background color. Find the snap it to the top of the on start block. Okay. How do I snap it to the top of the on start block already in the workspace? How does this work? What is this, sandbox 2? This is sandbox 0. This is sandbox 0. Okay. Sandbox 0. This is the original sandbox. So let's set the background color to a blinding yellow. No, to a blinding teal, okay? Click the empty square to set the background. Hey, look, it actually showed up. Can't find the block. You need the thing. Set my sprite into the end of the on start container. Set my sprite. Oh, that's how you do it. I was like, how does this work? Okay, here we go. So we do splash, poop. So no, we do, sorry, wait, no. Poop. It's background. It's poop. Background color. If I was a kid, this would be so fun to play with, actually. But this is basically the same kind of idea behind a lot of the current game tooling, where it's trying to decide how to, where it's like design. My assets? Wait, can I import something? Do you think they'll let me in? Do you think they'll let me import something? Let's be a dog. Perfect. You'll blend in. To kind of player. Like, basically all tools that allow you to do things like visually program something are basically trying to replicate this. Every single one is trying to replicate this, and none of them can get nearly as close as they can here. Because it seems like this is the best possible thing that could be done, and no one's been able to make this happen. What's interesting is that I wonder when this was made, right? Because like maybe this predated some of that stuff, or maybe it was sort of progenitor, or maybe it was made in response to that sort of like growing need to have like an easier starting point. Because like even Roblox is significantly more complicated than this, and the jump from like this to say being able to code something is still too complicated. Like there's no easy gradients for a lot of things. You just kind of jump into like the hardest thing that you can usually think of, right? Which is just full on programming. But I will say that Scratch is older than you. Okay, Scratch is older than you, and this is not to say that you're young, but this is to say that like it's old. And Scratch was already there, allowing people to make games in a visual way. I never used it because I didn't know about it, but when I found out about it, I thought it was great. Because it can attain a block. Okay, where's my sprite? My sprite's dead. Drag it to an empty space on the workspace. Start the spray effect. Sorry. My sprite starts spray effect. Effect from 100. Okay, so now we press the A button. Okay, so how do I play this? It's pissing. Chat, it allowed me to make a dog that pisses. That's really good. Holy shit. It's so stupid, but at the same time, it's actually really capable. I'm actually surprised that a tool like this works. And this system of like stacking up blocks and making it so that like things happen within these containers, aka like it's interesting to think about, but like this does sort of teach you how to organize your code, how to organize things into specific modules, and how to think about things as like a grouping of related functionality, which is kind of cool. Because I've seen some of your code, chat. Some of you code worse than a 7-year-old on Make Arcade. Think about that, okay? Some of you code worse than a 7-year-old on Make Code Arcade. And you don't even get to play it on your Make Code kit thing. So, clearly, it's maybe some of you need this, okay? Forget Sandbox, alright? Go back to Square Zero, go all the way down to Make Code Arcade, and then we'll talk about Sandbox in a year, once you've learned your lesson. They have a pneumatics and a hydraulics kit. This is insane. Chat, just this page alone already has like a bunch of things that I've never seen before. Because back in my day, they didn't even trust us to have a globe because the kids in my school would have turned that globe into a makeshift shocker ball, and somebody would have been stabbed. You know, I got stabbed in my eye with a pencil. I can still see the lead mark. Like the lead is still in my eyeball. I can still see it. And like I asked my doctor, and then he was like, "It'll fall out eventually." But you can't do anything. At least we show code. Unless I've literally shown my code in the process multiple times. That insult doesn't work. You have dementia. You have Alzheimer's. That insult doesn't work because I code live on stream. You type into an AI, can you please give me pretty looking code so I look cool to people? We are not the same. Introducing Lego Education Science. The one thing that I did have in my school actually was the Lego Education Science stuff. I was a part of a Lego robotics team actually, where pseudocode at most, never seen working code. You literally saw working code. It was literally working, and it wasn't even pseudocode. It was like, chat, it's like Rust, C#, and C++. You don't even know what your JavaScript code means. I was pressing buttons and things were happening. It's working code. You just don't understand it. I was a part of the Lego robotics team where it was actually a very interesting team. So it was in middle school. I joined the Lego robotics team. We got pretty close to the finals actually. So basically you go in. It's the same thing as like the BattleBot thing where you go and you fight people on like a thing, but like you don't really fight people. For the kids version, it's like you have to solve different goals, like you might have to like push a ball into a hole or something. And I was the designated programmer because no one else in my group knew how to program. So it was kind of funny because like it was me and my best friend, and we would be locked into a room. It was the computer lab after hours. Okay, we were the only two people allowed in there, and we had to turn the lights off. Because they were like, otherwise the other kids will want to come in and they're gonna keep knocking. So we just worked in the dark, like as this monitor is shining. And I don't know why we had to turn the lights off. And like no one was in the room with us. It was just me and him. And we're just pouring over this code. He's like fixing the robot to try to make it work. I'm over here trying to fix the code to try to make it like find the hole. And I'm like, and then we're struggling, okay? Like we finally get it. It is a magical moment. Our other two team members who were responsible for building other specific things, because like each one has its own like specialized module, came in and were like, "Oh my god, you actually got it!" And guess what happened? By the time we actually got to go to the games, right? I found out that the only way to go was I had to pay a fee, because apparently like it wasn't included in the club budget to pay for your entrance ticket to the competition. And I was like, well, one, that's stupid. Two, I'm gonna ask my family if they can give me $40 so I can see my robot beat other people's robots. And my family said no. So chat, they went. I didn't even get to see my code run. All I heard was that we actually got pretty close to the finals, except this like last team beat us because like they were basically like Harvard trained kids at the age of like 10. You know what I mean? Like it was like private school shit, like technical private school shit. So they were very strong. But we got pretty close, and like we were commended for being usually one of the weakest people of we were the strongest team in that school's history. Like that's how good we were. Because up until that point, that school had only made shitters. Because that school, again, the same school that went on to cause a multi-school fight within the area where all the kids in my grade went to go beat up kids at another school, and they got on the news. This is the same school, okay? So, like, it's bad. It's really bad. And these are, like, 10 to 12-year-old, like kids that look like they're 21 because they have beards and they're 6 feet tall. It's crazy. But that's what this was, okay? I got pretty far. I didn't see my code run, but I got pretty far. Leaf rubbing plates, root systems. What? What's this? No way! Check, look at this. I didn't even know this. I just scrolled over, but I wasn't even really... You can buy leaves. Wait, wouldn't you just want to like get these leaves from Home Depot? Wouldn't it be cheaper to just get from Home Depot? Or... But I do actually... I used to have this actually. I did used to have this, and I was like, what should I grow in this? And they gave us like a bunch of seeds for like, you know, flowers and stuff, or like some like weird plant. And they were like, you can grow these if you want, but you can grow anything that you want. So I got home, and my mom was like, hey, I got something you can grow for your class. Here, have these seeds. I'm like, oh, what's this? Next thing you know, chat, I've made hot peppers. And it was like, what? And I was like, where did my mom get these chili pepper seeds from? But imagine my surprise when there's a green chili pepper growing and somebody tries to eat it and it burns their mouth a little. And then I'm in trouble for some reason for them eating my plant. It's like, it's not, you shouldn't have eaten my fucking plant. Don't eat my plant. What the fuck are you doing eating my plant? It's my plant. It's crazy. Hood activities. Yeah, it was basically hood activities. Yeah, I mean, it was a funny school. It was a very funny time where like there was only like a subset of us trying to like not get into trouble, and then like, but like what's funny is that like we were like homies with the people who were getting in trouble, because like, you know, we're all friends. But like for some reason they just really enjoyed going crazy compared to us, who was like, we'll just make a robot. Oh no. But it was also funny because when they came back, so this is it's related to the story of the giant snowball thing, okay? At first everybody made fun of me because they're like, bro, why are you making a snowball? Let's just have a snowball fight. Because the thing to do at that time was we split the field into two halves, okay? People, chat, I'm not kidding you. It's like World War III. It's like World War III. It's fucking crazy, okay? You have these like middle school kids building barriers to fight each other across a field from. And you have people building trenches and like tall ass walls. Somebody built like someone built like a mini fortress to try to like throw snowballs from. And like people would like charge across the field taking snowballs like they're charging between the trenches of World War I. And so it's like they were like, why aren't you playing with us? Why are you rolling a giant snowball? And I'm like, I was like, the snow is calling to me, guys. Okay, I'll join next time. And I would join once a week. But for 4 days a week, I was like on the clock. Like as soon as the lunch bell rang, I would leave immediately. I would be the first person out, put on my jacket, go straight out to the snowball. I literally didn't care. And it was so funny because at this time too, I actually distinctly remember this was a weird time in my life, okay? One, there were these girls in this older grade who kept on chasing me, right? And then they asked me a question, and then they asked me a question like, hey, what region of Vietnam are you from? Because I'm Vietnamese too. And then I was like, can you fuck off? I'm rolling a snowball. I remember because I got in trouble. I got in detention because she cried. She cried, and her friends were like, bro, she's trying to be nice to you. She wants to ask you out. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm rolling a snowball. Get the fuck out of here. You're in my way. She fucking cried. And I'm like, you cheat. Well, and I was like, you want to ask me out? Ask me out some other time. I'm rolling a fucking snowball. So anyways. So, but after like 2 months, right? Well, no. After like a month, let's say, it was because our winters are like 3 months, and I remember it was like a long period of time. But like after like a month or so, like maybe like a month and a half, I don't really know. But like after a while, the snowball got really huge. It was at least like 6-7 feet or something, 6-7, and I needed to recruit all of my friends to push the thing. Okay, chat. People eventually stopped playing the snowball fight. I'm not kidding you. I got like 12 kids to push the snowball. Okay? And I'm not kidding you. Everybody else was just watching us push the snowball because they wanted to help, but there wasn't enough room. So what we did was we swapped out. We actually did like it's almost like we were day laborers but children. It was crazy. Like we would swap out to push the snowball. And again, it's still like I told this story before, but the principal came out with a teacher who was like the person watching on the field, and they were like, you had to stop this. And we were like, what? And then because like, okay, and then so the full context of the story was one day I was getting ready to go out to go push it, right? And then I was stopped by the principal who was like, hey, I've seen you from the window pushing the snowball. I'm like, yeah, it's huge, right? It's great. And he was like, you have to stop this. And I was like, what? Turns out, okay, on the days that on the days that I was either gone from school, didn't do it, or just was in detention for something else, right? Okay, because our detention took away the like lunchtime, or when I was doing club activities like the Robo Club, because it was around the same time too. And it happened during during lunchtime. Sorry, that that Lego Robotics Club was my first ever taste of crunch. We were actually crunching to like get this thing done, chat. Like, I'm not kidding you. This was the most stressful time of my life, because I remember stressing out like, oh my god, are we gonna get this thing done in time for us to be in the competition? Chat, we spent countless. I stayed at school until like 5 p.m. until the final teacher left and was like, listen, you have to go home because I want to go home. Like, it was like it was bad, okay? But like, they then told me that, hey, you can't do this because apparently the other kids were climbing on top of it and using it like a slide. And do you know what happened, okay? I think it was because we realized that we had to reinforce the structure. So my best friend and I, who is now a civil engineer, okay? He's a civil engineer. So like, you could kind of tell like how we got here, okay? We realized that we need to reinforce the structure because every time we got to a certain size, it was getting harder to like keep it stable as we rolled, because like pieces would even like fall off and or break if we hit like a bump somewhere. So we were like, wait a minute. Well, but why don't we just encase the entire thing in ice? And I was like, yeah, that sounds good, but that seems like too much work, so we'll do it next time, okay? Apparently, everyone else did that. So when I went back outside for the final time, okay? Because after this point, it was broken down. I had found the thing. It was no longer a snowball. It was an ice ball. The entire outside. So apparently, what I learned was that they like, I don't even know where they got these buckets from, but they got these buckets. And then they filled the sink from the washroom. And apparently there was like a... I'm not even kidding you. There was an assembly line of kids, like bringing buckets of water to the snowball. And they covered it in fucking ice. And I still find it so fucking funny years later. Because, chat, I accidentally created a monster. I accidentally created a fucking monster. Chat. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like, because I'm weird, right? Like, all of you know that I'm weird, and like, all of you have speculated that I have like ADHD, right? But like, imagine following that kid and then taking his word as gospel, and then actually like committing hours of your life to do this, right? Hours of your life. Because if you consider that like lunchtime at this time is like an hour long, and you have lunch 5 days a week because you go to school 5 days a week, that's 5 hours per week where you're working on the thing, okay? And they're doing like real day labor shit, like actual conga line. It wasn't just people like walking a bucket towards it. It was like a person would stand somewhere and they would get the bucket from the last person and pass it on. Like, there was enough kids that like they could do that. So yeah, they like covered it in like ice, and then apparently it was then they started to slide down it, and then some kid like broke something. I don't know what he broke, but he like broke something, and I didn't see him for like a week. I didn't see that kid for like a week, and they said, you have to stop it. We are shutting this down. And so but what's funny is that for some reason they trusted me. So he was like, I trust you, so you have to break it down. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. Can you please give me a shovel or something? So he gave me like a small shovel, and I'm not even kidding you. I was out there, I was like hacking away at this like ice ball with this stupid shovel. And everybody, they were like, why are you doing this? And I was like, guys, we had to shut it down. We were cut off. And I think from that moment on was when they lost my generation. Because I think that was the first taste of authoritarian overreach that we had as children, that we realized that you can't trust the man, you can't trust the authority because they don't have your best interest at heart. Because this thing could have been magnificent. I know it's covered in ice. I know people are sliding down it and they're breaking their arms. But just imagine if it's like a 10-foot ice ball, it would have been so sick. It's gonna melt anyways. Just let us build the ball. Just let us roll the ball. Instead, the man said no. We are getting into legal issues. We can't deal with it. We had to shut it down. And here I am breaking it apart. But it was fun to break it apart. So at first, at first everybody was mad. Then they started to help me, but I was the only one with a tool because they only gave us one tool. But I was also like too tired, so we would pass the tool around, okay? And the people who like were tired, they would like kick the ball instead with their feet, which hurt like hell, mind you, okay? Because like we were all too cool for boots and stuff, so we would just wear running shoes in the snow. So we'd kick it, our toes would be fucked up, but like we would, we would slowly make a dent in it, like very slowly make a dent in it, and you just see like a pile of kids kicking the shit out of this, and it was like a rotating cast. It was so fucking funny because it was so boring to do because there was no goal. It was just sadness, right? Like most of us like stopped doing it, and then we would go back to playing the snowball fights, which again. They also had to stop the snowball fights because it literally was World War III, okay? That, like, we had, like, a rotating cast of people who would just come by and they would give, like, 5 kicks or something. And then eventually we got it to split in half, which was really cool. Like, I was there live and it split in half. And we all started cheering. Like, people started to climb on it. People were starting to stand on it, trying to, like, balance on it because, like, you know, it's like an iris, right? It's like the shape of an iris. So to try to balance on it, kind of like a balance board from like yoga or something, right? Like it's such a weird time for me. But yeah, anyway, so like science is great. If you teach a kid science, and you allow them to do whatever the fuck they want for scientific means, I think you're going to find that they're able to do a lot more than you realize. And really, laws should apply to children. Because as a child, I was fully capable of breaking people's necks and causing explosions and starting fires and like accidentally killing people. And for some reason, if I did kill somebody, they would just be like, "Okay, don't do that again." Not that I've ever killed anyone, but how do I know? Maybe years later, people are still rolling snowballs in that school. Maybe years later, people are still rolling snowballs, and they're trying to build a snowball. That what's funny is that they can't even beat our snowball now. It's like physically impossible because there isn't enough cold weather. So like we were the last year that could have ever made a giant snowball. If any future generation hears about it, they're going to think that it's a myth that we had 3 months worth of snow. We used to have multiple months worth of snow. And then it stopped. They carry on a dying legacy. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with my generation, okay? Because like... Actually, our generation. Because our generation, we even know a guy. So like this Shatter and like me are friends, okay? We actually know somebody who is now on the run because they murdered someone. Or like we know of them, right? I've even said hi to the guy a couple of times and like hung out with him a couple of times. Back in like a long time ago. I stopped because he was crazy, but he like murdered someone and now he's on the run, and there's still a wanted for him. So I'm like, holy shit. It's like I don't know what was on with our generation, but our generation was like fucking nuts. It was fucking crazy. What a great time. Anyways, all that to say, I do code, but see, like I've always been like this. I've always been a weird fucking person. I don't know why. It's just this stuff is fun. Oh yeah, we're crazy. Yeah, from foam flower model, so you can get things like a foam flower model, or Arduino Education Greenhouse bundle. What? That combines IoT what? Get started on photosynthesis. Model plus foam flower. If you gave me a foam flower model, I'd be so sad. Because the whole point of a flower is you see it grow, right? New pathway, grouping of plants. Like, what's the point of having a fake flower? I'm sorry. What is this? Crime scene? I need water. I need water. What the fuck are they selling kids? Chat. This is designed for children. This whole thing is designed for children. What's like the age range? There's an age range somewhere. Fake flowers don't die. Sounds like a good gift for some. Oh yeah? Then explain the forensic kit. Explain the crime scene investigation kit. Is this a good gift for a child? I don't know. This is a catalog for like child's. This is a catalog for child's education. What do you mean? What do you mean forensic kit? I need to get some water. Sorry. I think this was only going to be half an hour, but this is now going to be like an hour-long segment. We have to learn what this is. Okay, I'm back. You clearly never had your Yu-Gi-Oh card stolen from you, leaving you to find the bastard who took your blue eyes. Wait, so true. To be fair, like, basically nobody messed with me. Because, like, I know it's like, I'm telling you these stories and it sounds like my classmates are insane, but like I was also insane. So like you have to understand, it's like I was already known for being like a very atypical person, so I don't think anybody really wanted to mess with me. Except for one kid. Like actually three kids. One kid was just racist. He just hated Asian people. And he's the one who taught me all the slurs that I know against myself, okay? Second kid just wanted to fight me. Like he just always wanted to fight me. So we would get into fist fights like once a month, and then we would teach each other how to like do whatever new move that we learned in the fight, because we were both doing martial arts. So like he would teach me Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I would teach him how to do a flying kick, and it was such a weird symbiotic yet antagonistic relationship. Third kid who wanted to fight me, I was like he just kept goading me, and I was like, I don't want to fight you, I don't want to bother, I just want to roll my snowball and build my robot. I think because he thought that I was a nerd, because like he was new to the school, so I guess he thought that I was like a normal like nerd, but he doesn't realize that like I was weird. Like I was actually like perfectly fine to like go and fight people. So at some point, I remember saying to him, I was like, yeah, fine, let's just go fight, fuck it, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you, let's meet at the back of the school at this time, show up, or you're a fucking pussy. So I showed up. And then he shows up. Chad, it was the funniest thing ever. And he's like, so how's this gonna go? Ooh, are we gonna slap fight? I'm like, no, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you. And he's like, listen, I'm not really down to fight. He then shook my hand, and then we became friends, because he's a fucking pussy. The guy's a fucking pussy. He shook my hand, and I was like, what the fuck? And at least the other guy tried to choke me out in like a takedown, like, and at least I could kick him in the face. You're just gonna shake my fucking hand after, like, he was goading me on for 4 months, chat. 4 fucking months. I was like, please, for the love of God, shut up. I don't want to roll my fucking snowball. It was so fucking annoying. And then when it finally came down to it, he was a fucking pussy. And I was like, holy fuck, you're a fucking pussy. I even called him a pussy. And I'm like, alright, fine, you're a fucking pussy. It's over. Stop bothering me. Then we became friends. Great times. So no one stole a Yu-Gi-Oh card from me, probably because I probably had like a reputation for being insane. Like really looking back at it, I think I did have a reputation for being a little weird and insane, and I guess that's probably why not many people mess with me. Because I was kind of like I was definitely one of the people who like people tried to avoid talking to, but like they still like talk to me because I was at least nice, right? Being insane sounds like a good defense. Yeah, but like you also don't make friends, right? So, but yeah, look, you can now do a crime scene. The case of the kidnapped cookies. Stage the crime with a kidnapping. Sorry, a kidnapping. A Spanish ransom note. Lipstick. What does that mean, lipstick? White powder. Chat, oh my god, they gave you fake cocaine. Oh my god. They gave students fake cocaine, white powder, and DNA evidence left as clues. And they're even teaching kids that police will stage crimes by, like, you know, finding magical crack on you, right? It's actually like the police officers are leaving crack at the crime scene to like shoot you. It's actually like that kind of thing. Engage students. See, this is for students. From evidence collection and analysis right to the stage trial. 1, what is DNA evidence? Because is this real DNA, or like do you have to like, I don't know, like cut someone's finger off? The case of the contaminated creek. This cold case has an environmental twist. Really get them thinking this time. 5 suspects worth of evidence to weed through as soon as analyze hair. Is this real hair? Sand, glass, lip prints, and even contaminated water and microinvertebrate species to solve this whodunit. The case of the missing mascot. Your school mascot, we never had one, is missing. And the big game is days away. Students will discover a note, a mouth guard, leaves, and fibers. Fibers? They will, at the scene. They would use dichotomous keys. The fuck is a dichotomous key? This is insane. A dichotomous key is a tool that can be used to identify organisms or objects in the natural world. I've never seen this. They would use dichotomous keys, learn to identify fibers using a flame test, holy shit, and analyze handwriting, fingerprints, DNA evidence, and bite marks to take this mystery. This is an insane thing to like give children. It's $340. I don't think that's worth it. 2, What do you mean you're teaching children how to solve crimes? Like, why is this necessary? Blood typing. The most procedurally accurate simulation of the blood typing technique available. Students test and determine the ABO/RH blood samples of 4 different simulated blood typing blood samples. Chat, this is like a real blood sample thing. Oh, sorry. Please give me a second. It's my way. Okay, back. So is this real blood? No toothpicks, no stirring, no waiting for results. Includes chat. This is real blood. What the fuck? Includes 4 donor samples. Holy shit! What? Chat. I think being a vampire is easier than we think. Because you can just go to the science catalog and get like 4 samples of real blood. Right? Because 4 donor samples is like real blood. So can you just like... Can you buy blood? Can you buy human blood? Yes, iSpecimen can provide sets of whole matched blood. We arrange for collections, obtain blood products for research. I think being a vampire is a lot easier than we expect. We just sort of assume that vampires have to like kidnap people, but like in reality, you could just get blood by pretending to be a blood processing samples provided Microsoft Word. Would I like some of yours if I run out? No, yours is it's rotten and diseased and smells bad. Prototype Buffy coat. What? Concentration of platelets with a small amount of thin plasma. Industry pricing is $500 and you only get 200 milliliters. Sorry? Milliliters? Each bag. Here we go. Oh, bags. Red cells. Whole blood. 500. Wait, how much is 500 milliliter Coca-Cola? That's a single soda bottle. Okay, that's a single soda bottle's worth of blood for $800. It's easy to be a vampire. You just have to be rich. I'm sorry to say it. Vampire Meteor, that is... Okay, now it makes sense, actually. Wait. How come Vampire Meteor has never done this? Where Vampire Media has the vampires being rich, not because they're old and have lived a long time, and so have been able to compound their investments over centuries, but they're rich because they have to pay for whole blood units at industry pricing, at 832 per. That's pretty good. And also... I don't know how to say this, but if a vampire came up to me and said, "Hey, can you donate your blood weekly?" Actually, how often can you donate blood? Every 56 days. Okay, so if you get 56 people and you tell them each every 2 months, can you donate blood? And for that day, I will give you $1,000. I would do it. Okay? In fact, you could do it right now. You could just donate blood right now in a normal, non-vampire way. Buffy the Vampire Coat. Buffy the Vampire Coat. That's good. Optimal storage. Finding the right blood match in the iSpecimen marketplace. What? You can buy blood of certain demographics? Request a quote. Like, is there like a drop down that allows me to choose what I want? Specimen tissue samples. Biofluids. Ew. What the fuck is that? Simple. Sorry, this is an insane. This is an insane statement. Ethically sourced, difficult to find fresh tissue samples. Simple, streamlined human tissue procurement. It's possible with iSpecimen. Whether you need fully consented FPPE blocks with specific variant profiles, archive samples, or prospectively collected disease tissue over time with matched squad sets, we'll handle the procurement gymnastics to get your biospecimens delivered. So this is things that are from specific even like conditions that you wouldn't be able to naturally sample because you'd have to cut them off. That's crazy. Blood probably tastes best warm, but worsens the taste in the microwave. You don't have anything to support these claims. Maybe it's a bit like Jell-O, right? Because you know how like for Jell-O, it's like, okay, if you don't eat Jell-O immediately, it like kind of gets like way too chewy and then way too hard after. But if you like add water and you try to like heat it up to like reconstitute it, it just becomes soup. It has to be the exact same thing, yeah. However, I think that blood still tastes good even when it's old because you have like the pork blood soup thing. Like you have the pork blood thing. You have the what's the thing called? Here, like you have like Taiwanese pork blood, let's say, okay? So these things, I don't know what they're called in English, but these things are really good. All right. So clearly, it's these things. Clearly, it still tastes great, even when it's old and crusty. You just need to make these cubes. Ever had black pudding? I think I have, or maybe I want to. I think I've always wanted to. It's because I love these that I really want to have black pudding. But yeah, I think vampires have a lot of choice, and I think right now there are vampires living up. They're living among us. We just don't know it because we think to ourselves that they have to kidnap people. But you can just buy blood for $1,000. Cell models, simple for elementary level. See, these are this forensic kit is for an elementary student. This is like a kid. That's like this kid is from the ages of 7 until 11. Okay, 7 until 11 years old. They're solving crimes, and they're building cells. That's the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Look, you even get things like body parts. Double-sided, half-size genderless torso, compact and durable. That's a really weird thing to say about a body, and yet at the same time, that's kind of what you want. X-ray! Stick to science genetic cards to tell you whether or not someone's going to get blue eyes. Or like, I don't know, brown hair or something. Stick to science Punnett squares. We made one of these for viewers, I think, for like a type A, type B viewer. Sorry. look at this. Holy shit! It's like a Diablo 2 dungeon or something. Bestseller. Human skeleton, bestseller. Height 5'7". Fred, the flexible skeleton, is only 5'6", but he's flexible. The economy, 33-inch skeleton, 33 inches. It's economical. It's a removable skull. American skeleton. What is an American skeleton? What does that mean? Oh, because it has paintings of the muscles. Oh my god, chat! Look at this. Look at this skeleton. Chat, it has a window. This looks like a Halloween thing. This is not a classroom thing. This is a desk cover for a skeleton, but it has a viewport window, so it scares people at night. That's hilarious. Holy shit. Pumping blood model? No way. What? People have like pumping blood? Easy to use multi-sensory model? That's sick. I didn't know that you could do that. Half life-size human heart, so made from real life. Dental x-rays, set of 15. So you get people's random x-rays. You even get a whole human's x-ray. Wait, this is... What is this? American skeletons are similar to English skeletons, but speak and spell things funny. Yeah, it's all the gentlemen from the colonies, you know? That's just how they are here. The gentlemen from the colonies. These gentlemen are strange. They say odd things like howdy and yeehaw. And apparently they have blood. Apparently they have blood, whereas all other skeletons don't. 4D human anatomy. Oh my god, that's sick. It consists of every body part and it's like a real person. 4D human anatomy didactic exploded skull model for when you need to know what somebody looks like after a car accident. Human ear 3D model making kit. Does it include the snail? Giant eyeball. This is insane. What is this? The olfactory. This looks terrifying. This is the nose. That's just like a raw nose. See? Science is so cool. If we had this shit in science, it'd be so goddamn cool. What is this? Physiology Go Direct Standard Kit. This includes, oh my god, you can teach kids how to like do the physiology test, like your blood pressure, check inside your ear for something. Mind plates, food, and get this food triangle shit's bullshit. Magnetic healthy food. Oh, healthy food. Like tomatoes, yeah? My country doesn't even grow tomatoes. Lung volume a bag kit. I have seen these actually. What's crazy is that this is $40 and these things are disgusting because they're full of spit. But I've actually used this before and I have seen how much lung capacity that I have. I don't have much. You can get a stethoscope, a teaching stethoscope, fingertip pulse oximeter, a lung demonstration apparatus, a percussion hammer to like hit your knee with, student's blood pressure kit. Wow. Pupil gauge. People are gonna blind each other with this. Level 1 face mask. Sorry, I'm just gassing. Instructor's dissecting kit. Oh yeah, we used to do dissections. I do love dissecting. Life cycles. Each specimen is unique and different with grasshoppers and stuff. Ants, butterfly, and ladybug. Geo Safari. Wait, what? Yo. Geo Safari, day and night ant factory. Get a first-hand look at the amazing working with ants with a day and night ant farm. The translucent, nutrient-rich farm gel doubles as food ants can work with while they eat, eliminating the need for food or water. Witness their amazing feats by day, then switch on the color-changing LED lights and watch as the ants work the night shift. Custom air vents keep ants safe and ventilation flowing throughout the... This is sick. I'm sorry. They made gel that can... That acts as sand that they can also eat. You can train ants to eat sand. Check life cycle to know when is the best time to eat a lut. You have to keep buying the gel though. No. At that point, you just squish your ants. At that point, you just take all of your ants and you squish them because they've served their. Once they eat the gel, they've served their purpose, and it's over. You squish them. This is so you know when balut is the tastiest. You ideally want to eat balut somewhere around here at like that stage. This is when it has the most flavor, but the bones are still soft. Telescopic pond net for you to catch bugs with. There's like a pond, it's like a bug thing. Chat, this is sick. It's both like sick as in like it's sick in the head, but it's also sick as in sick nasty, right? I wish that I had these. I don't know. It's just kind of weird that like there's all this stuff out here for schools, but like, but also this is still the thing, right? It's like, who is buying these? Because my teacher friend is not the one necessarily buying these. Like he might buy some things for extra things like say pizza or maybe some like books and stuff, right? But he's not the one going through this catalog to buy things like a laboratory scoop, right? So is your principal just looking through this catalog to buy things, or is it like a combination where they look through it and then they tell the principal, I need this? I don't know. And yet I wish that my school teachers looked through this and like chose the good stuff, because I'm sure that back then they also had things like how to grow like an ant. I'm sure that back then we could still buy blood and it would have been cheaper. Stream table. Oh shit, you can make a stream. That's sick. It's just a large plastic tray. Stream table kit. It's just a tray with sand. See-through compost container, so you can see your banana be eaten by worms. This is sick. And now you get the stars. I will say the star science stuff. Not to say that space is boring, but I don't know how to explain this. People who are into bug science, they enjoy playing with like a living thing. Okay, they enjoy playing with a living thing. And they enjoy sort of like understanding what's within their grasp by hand and seeing sort of how it reacts to things like being cut open. People who study space, even as a child, they just like the fact that it looks cool. Like it's like, oh, space, look, it's so cool, it's so shiny. It's literally, it's the same thing as like the e-girl who invites you over and then gives you like a crystal, right? Or like a crystal girly, right? Same thing as a crystal girly. But like they're for space, because space has that same sort of like thing of like, oh, it's nice and shiny. That's it. It's all the same thing. Balloons, balloon hand pump. What? You fucking pussy? Just like, I don't know, blow it. I don't know, just like use your mouth. Just like use your lungs. Take it off with flight. Holy shit, you can get a kite? Okay, sorry. The coolest science is rocket science, because they make cool stuff like rockets. Fill it with water and use a cycle pump to power it for an automatic launch. That's sick. Holy moly. Oh, I love this shit. I love building. Okay, you can tell that I loved building the machines because I was in the Lego Robotics Club and I actually built and like programmed it. But this is sick. Connects Education. I'd seen this and I'd always wanted it, but it's just way too expensive. So the pulleys. So, again, some of the stuff they do sell in stores. Like you could go into Toys R Us and then get some of these. Arduino Science Education Kit. Again, it's crazy that kids are getting Arduinos. Fuck. If only I could get an Arduino, man. High school science Go Direct package so you can make a motor. Lab Quest. You studied space as a child, so are you an e-girl? No, you're a crystal girly. Get it right. I misspoke. You're just a crystal girly. Student projectile launcher. Oh my god, chat. You get to make a gun. The cocking level eliminates the need for a ramrod down the barrel. Sorry, this has to be a joke. The cocking level eliminates the need for a ramrod down the barrel. Like, that sounds oddly sexual. But like, I didn't know you just get guns. Wait, this has to be like an American company then, right? Fan cards. Oh, Newton's principle of action and reaction. What, that the thing moves? That's kind of easy. Ballistics car with a remote trigger. Happy/sad ball. What does this mean? Wait, the happy/sad ball. What's like the set? Two rubber balls that look, feel, and squeeze the same, but try bouncing them. These intriguing, inelastic, and elastic collision balls are popularly called happy and sad. One ball rebounds normally, while the other is as bounceless as a piece of clay. Bestseller. Bestseller. It's $12. That's why it's bestseller. A Newtonian demonstrator is $30. Also, now I know what to search for when I want these Benoit ball things. Vernier exploring motion, bicycle wheel gyroscope, right? Student voice table. They use these in university courses. So the school that buys this is teaching like very advanced children who are getting the same demonstrations as you would in university. Freefall tube. When students overlook the action of aerodynamic action, incline playing with a protractor. Optical bench set? Oh, it's like test your eyes. Tabletop light box. Light table. What? Oh, I've heard of light tables. And you like put stuff on it and that's cool. Crystals! Oh, now we're in optics. Look at this. Now it's all about optics. Now it's all about what you see. What? Experiments with heat and human energy? With heat and energy? What is this? What is the people here? Air pressure experiment. What the hell is this? I don't know. This seems weird. Density cube set. Oh my god. It's made of different materials. There's a little nuclear. There's no way. Chat. Look at the material list. Acrylic, aluminum, brass, copper. Okay, that's like normal. Choric iron, lead. Lead ball. You can get a lead cube for your child that will eventually cause them to be angered. It's gonna give them behavior issues because it's like lead poisoning seeping in through their hands. And you can just buy this for your child for $82. You can poison your child for the low price of $82. Oh, it's amazing. This is just... There's 116 pages, okay? This is just one catalog. Chat. There is so many catalogs. And this is honestly a really cool catalog because between the coding stuff and like all the weird stuff, you can get a potato clock. It's just like, see, just like Portal 2, right? You can make a potato clock, but I don't know why you need a kit. You can just make your own potato clock with like a battery and like some wires, but I digress. You can just do this and you just buy this. You can make a DC motor and be a genius child. It's actually crazy. Like this is kids are learning this stuff? What do you mean kids are learning this? That's insanity. Like, again, my school was known for going to fight another school. They also have a math catalog, which this one I wanted to show because I found funny because it's like, look at the number of pages. There's 124 pages, right? If you need 124 ways to teach math, then something's wrong. I'm gonna say it. If you need 124 ways to teach math, then math is wrong. It's not that the kids are wrong. It's not that like people are wrong. It's that math itself is just wrong. Okay? Because there's no way that you need to teach your child how shapes fit. However, I'm reminded of that famous video where everything went into the one circle hole. So maybe you do need it. I remember these things. The base 10 kits. Holy shit, the base 10 kits. We used to learn how to count in base 10 with this kit, and we would learn how to like combine things to like count in this kit. And I remember doing it as a wee child, and the teacher was so impressed that I was able to count. And I was like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like all there. You count to 10, it's like 23, you just get 2 of these sticks and then 1 of that stick. Sorry, and then 3 of that stick. Like, it's not that hard. And I was moved up to a gifted class for 2 days, and I cried for both days because I didn't get to play with my friends. So they moved me out of the gifted class. And I was like, okay, thank God. Like, it's fucked up that when you become gifted, you have to give up all of your friends. Like, that's actually such a fucked up premise for a child. Like, why do you have to give up? Like, you're telling me that the gifted kids do have a separate lunchroom? Like, that's stupid. I want to be with my friends. Like, that's dumb. They have like a separate lunchtime because like, oh, because they learn more. I don't want to learn more. I want to play with my friends on that side of the room. Sorting, counting. See, like, math is wrong. 127? What? Using the Rec and Rec daily practice charts. Oh my god. What do you mean there's... Kids are still using abacuses? Chat, this is the shit that you would see in Sun Tzu's office. Oh, actually, funny thing about Sun Tzu. Did you know? I was reading a theory about how Sun Tzu is apparently not one single person. So apparently, there's like a lot of like historians who have sort of like traced the idea of like who or what Sun Tzu is, and there's this like growing theory that Sun Tzu was not a single person, based on like key things like the timeline and sort of like how long they were around for, and sort of like what they've like done. But was actually a set of people who like gave their knowledge over and was simply compiled into a book told from the story of Sun Tzu. However, the counter argument to that is that the book is too well written with too much structure to not be made by a single person. Holy shit. Why isn't... I guess an abacus is effective because I have seen, like in China, they still use abacuses for a lot of, you know, the educational sections. And I've seen how effective it can be from demonstrations of people who are good at the abacus and how quickly they can do certain calculations with the tool too. Which makes it very impressive because it's just a bunch of balls and like a bunch of wood. Giants walk on a number line. Walk with one side number. Oh my god. I'm sorry to say it. If your child needs this, it's over. Like, your child is fundamentally not even human. If they need this to know how to count from 0 to 100, you're telling me that your child needs to walk a line so that they can, like, measure it based on their feet, and as their feet grows, then they can only count to, like, you know, 27 or something? Thousands dice? This is just D&D? This is just D&D. What is this? Chat, it's all the same shit. See? Math education is wrong. Math education consists of the same things over and over and over, but sold to you in different ways. Oh, base 10 cubes, but now they're clear, and it's a starter kit. And now you get... Look, it's all base 10 blocks. There's no difference. Wait, there's no way. Is this what this was for? Oh. I always thought that this was like an art tool. Like, I thought that this was an art tool to draw pictures with, because I used to use these to draw, to like, you know, make like almost like stained glass things out of. I didn't realize that it was for like for geometry lessons. But yeah, this is a very weird like blast from the past. To see a lot of these things that I distinctly remember when they try to teach us math. And it's interesting that they've never really gotten a better way to teach it, which implies that the entire field is broken. I say as somebody who like hates math. Like, look at this. Although I will say, I'm sorry to say it, these shapes are so sick. This is the best toy that you could ever give a child, and I wish I had more of these as a kid, okay? Because if you give a child this, they're gonna have so much fun. Basically, every single one is in a distinct shape, and you learn what the shapes are. And it's designed to get you to think about the shapes and how they combine. It's an interesting sort of like a geometry thing, but also like an interesting way to learn the art forms as well, how to like compose something out of smaller shapes. Sort of a weird, sort of like a double lesson. But the key thing is that as a child, you can make things like insects and then bugs. There's a lot of cool ways you can do this. I made a sword that I like tape together, which I shouldn't have, and I tried to stab someone with it. It's great stuff. What is your favorite shirt? What? Hexalink. I remember... Chad, these things haven't changed in 25 years. The Hexalink was like a bootleg. It's like a bootleg Lego, but these things weren't nearly as good, and they didn't really teach you anything. It was just fun to like pop them off. Actually, I also did break these too. I used to like pop them off really loudly to like make a sound, and I kept disrupting class, and I got into detention. Magnetic pizza fraction demonstration set. You could just buy a real pizza. Chat, it's literally cheaper to buy a real pizza and teach your child what you can buy a real pizza and teach your child what it means to have 1/4 of a pizza for cheaper. Are you kidding me? Some of these feel like scams, but at the same time it's reusable, but still. Oh, these things too. Wow. Everything is still the same. I remember these too. Huh. See, the technology, it's interesting to see the difference between the technology side, the art side, and this side. The math side and the art side is still very much the same. It's all the same fundamental tools, right? It's only the technology side that seems to have changed so drastically that I couldn't recognize a single thing there. Like, what do you mean that there's a forensic kit? What do you mean that Microsoft has a tool called Make Code Arcade? And they even have like games for it too, like Make Code Arcade, and you like play these games. This is a crazy premise, because like, why do you need so much? And look, there's actual games with AI art too. AI Bug Arena, Save the Forest. What does this mean? Start. Save your air tanker. Okay, sure. Like, if I had this shit as a kid, my life would have been so much better. This is crazy. Wait, but I'm dead. I'm dead. What? Ow. What the hell is that? Show stats. Hide stats. Look like Mo Fun Zone here. It kind of does, yeah. Okay, but how do you play the game? Because like it's like dead. How do you play this game? Where? How do you play the game? On start. Let's. Oh, it's a tutorial on how to make the game. That's lame. I don't want a tutorial. Yeah. Welcome to science, everyone. That's science. I had no clue that the science catalogs had gotten so advanced over the years. I sort of assumed that like science catalogs like that, or like education stuff like that, was like a thing that schools bartered with like specific corporations. And I didn't know that you could actually go to find a catalog to buy this stuff directly for your child. And it's crazy that I did all that on no coffee. So I'm gonna sip my coffee now for just a moment, and then we're gonna move on. There's actually a lot more catalogs, but I only have about let's see what my phone says. I have 4 hours and 15 minutes left for today. We'll check out more catalog stuff soon, because there's a lot more, and there's even some that are built specifically for certain industries even. So it's like you have like a workforce catalog for people who do accounting, for people who do nursing. I can't show the nursing one because there's like naked body parts on it, but it's a very fascinating look into the world of like how things are sold to specific industries that I didn't think about. And it makes sense, because when I worked in the restaurant industry, we would very often get these catalogs for restaurant equipment, which were themed in very much the same way. So it's not like I wasn't aware of it, but I just didn't really think of how this would apply to other industries. And it's funny because like in software, we don't have a catalog. There is no software catalog that is like, hey, do you want to buy a new IDE? Well, you can buy Zed, which is now on 1.0. The editor that's just like Vim, but like with AI, and it's a little shittier. But also, it's got like pretty cool features too. It's like, whoa, it's like, that's cool, okay. Or like, hey, do you want to use an editor? Well, guess what? Use Vim. We're still here. I guess that's the problem with software, is that some things change and some things stay the same, you know? And you can't really sell things off of that. But yeah, we're going to move on now. I'm going to drink some coffee really quick. Today is a Forbidden Solitaire Day, but I hope that you enjoyed the science fair today. It's a mini science fair. It's not really like the same science fair. It's definitely missing the toys, like baubles that they used to have, like a toy pencil pen that could like open up like a little string or something. Like you don't have that stuff, but it is all the same tools that I learned math with. So maybe if you teach your kid the same way, they'll be as smart as me. Does that make you feel good about raising children? Remember, I convinced an entire grade to roll a snowball.